But they agree with the position that somehow the Philippine National Police, or at least many of its men, have become even more emboldened, have become even more trigger happy under this current atmosphere that we have now. Because largely you have pronouncements coming from the president himself, giving them quote-unquote those orders and somehow making them even more trigger happy.
Well, there is a tendency really to abuse, and if they misread what the president says, you can see it happening. In fact, the more reason you can say that it's not an isolated case, because in the aftermath of the shooting, there have been some police officers who came out, like the police chief in Catanduanes. It warranted removal from his post because he came out with an opinion which kind of supported or justified the actions taken by Sergeant Nuesca. And there's the two more I saw on social media circulating. So that should be a cause for alarm for the leaders. That somehow the way of thinking of our police officers is veering away from the mantra of to serve and protect civilians.
Yeah, precisely. That was quite alarming because you mentioned, there were a couple of other police officers who even justified what Staff Sergeant Nuesca did, which was obviously wrong, which was brutal, diba? Cold-blooded murder if you look at it, if you saw the video. But again, my point is, how much of this do you think is affected, this kind of mentality, this so-called utak pulbura culture within the Philippine National Police? How much of this is affected or influenced by the president himself? Because you said it's also a matter of misreading what the president has been saying. But what is there to misread if in fact there are certain things that are quite clear, or even the contradictions within certain statements? You could see that there's that attitude, that seeming marching order to disregard human rights.
Well, the president's statement is directed in relation to the drug war. So you can, to me, the president has the passion for his drug war. But unfortunately, you have more than 100,000 policemen. I don't remember the exact number, but I'm sure there are those who would take that order to the extreme. And obviously, this is a case because I don't believe that Sergeant Nuesca just did it out of yung sinasabing nandili ng paningin. As I was observing the video, parang cool and collected. No? And he actually, my reading is that he just pulled the trigger out of spite for the lady answering back to his daughter, which in the first place was an irresponsible thing to do. You don't bring your daughter to shoot a video if he was going to act to respond to a supposed disturbance. And then eventually, in front of the child, pull out your gun and shoot someone else. He exposed his own daughter to this. And the outrageous thing there is that the person he shot was restraining the person he was supposed to accost. There was no threat to him. So it's really something that should wake us all up, that there is something wrong with the system.